Blue Star Dragon Country, Unknown City. People were going about their business along the street as usual. Among them was the main character named Qinfeng. Suddenly a shadow descended over the people and they noticed it. They looked up and wondered what was going on. Why did it get dark so suddenly? The girl pointed her hand up and asked, "What is this?" Qinfeng followed her gaze and thought, "What are they all looking at?" He raised his head and his eyes widened in surprise when he saw thick clouds over the city. People started shouting in panic that aliens were attacking the Blue Star. It was the end of the world. Cars on the road stopped and surprised drivers looked at the sky and said that something strange was appearing in the sky. Suddenly smoke came down from the sky and a blue flash appeared in front of Qinfeng. A system window appeared in front of him and he jumped back in surprise. He looked around and thought, does anyone else see this screen in front of them? He saw that other people also had this and thought, maybe he should try touching it. Is this augmented reality technology? But what kind of country did this? Such advanced technology. He touched the system window and it said that a world of chaos would soon open. Other people said that words appeared here. Some were scared and stunned, while others were in anticipation. The system window announced that a world of carnage would soon open, celestial chaos. Healthy people aged 15 to 50 years from all over the world will be simultaneously transported into heavenly chaos. This is a place where they can meet fierce giant beasts, and there are demons everywhere and different races coexist. It is full of deadly dangers, but also filled with treasures and opportunities. Here they can die at any second, but also gain eternal life. Suddenly bright flashes appeared in the sky and surrounded people. They found themselves locked in a barrier and one of them started knocking on it and asked what was happening here. One woman was separated from her daughter. The little girl stood outside the barrier and could not touch her mother. Qinfeng touched the barrier and thought, is there really an alien invasion on the Blue Star? What's going on here? The system window reported that this is the Blue Star's only chance for salvation. The system wished people good luck and said that world chaos was beginning. Qinfeng began to fall from the sky into a new world and the system window welcomed him to the rookie village number 911. The starting population of each village is 1,000 people. A bright flash flashed through one of the houses and Qinfeng found himself in this house. He said that this world is not very friendly since he appeared here out of nowhere, then all these strange things said about the mortal world are true. He sat down on the floor and the system window reported that he was in the newcomer's house. The newcomer's house is blessed by heaven. No one can enter it without his consent. Resting in a newbie's home doubles the rate of recovery of physical strength and energy. From this moment on, the system panel is available to him. Qinfeng asked, what is this? System panel. It's like the interface in games. He turned around and saw that there was also a screen with personal information. He saw that his strength and endurance were 8 units, agility 9 units, and energy 28. He was 22 years old, level 1, talent not awakened, no skills. Combat rating, 1 star. Qinfeng listed his characteristics and wondered if he also had a level. First, he should look into the general chat channel and see what other people are talking about. He pressed the button and said that he could not press the world channel. It turns out that after certain conditions are met, everyone, including other newcomer villages, will be able to communicate in this channel. He went into the general chat of the village and someone wrote that he woke up in the house. What was happening? Let someone tell them how to get out. Another person wrote that he had just been at work but ended up here. Another person wrote that his name is Jiang Shu. Can he ask, has anyone seen his wife? Were they all kidnapped? Will the government come to save them? All the people who found themselves in the new world were in shock and asked for help. Someone thought they were caught by aliens for experiments. Someone else asked, they got here together, right? He reads such a short story, but he doesn't understand which of them will be the main character. A guy named Jiang Fan decided to write to the general chat and told them not to panic. Do they remember that strange voice they heard before waking up in the house? This voice said that this place is called the Heavenly Death World. A girl named Chengyu said that she also heard it, and I won't die, but she doesn't want to die. She misses her mom and dad so much. Jiang Kai told them not to panic, no one will die here. They remember that strange voice saying that they could even get eternal life here. Jiang Fan asked, have they already logged in? There they can look at their personal information, and then they will decide together how to get out of here. Jiang Kai wrote that his battle rating was 1 star, followed by Jiang Fan who wrote that he had the same. Tang Zhuo wrote that he has a combat rating of 1 star, strength 8, agility 9, but what do these numbers mean? Chengyu replied that the higher the numbers, the stronger he is. For example, she has high physical strength. Jiang Fan wrote that they all seem to have the same battle rating. Wang Qiang replied that they are not the same. He is shown to have almost reached 2 stars in combat rating. Jiang Fan asked what his performance was in the 4 parameters. He replied that he had strength 18, agility 13, endurance 14, energy 7. He is a boxing fan. He trains himself from time to time. Maybe that's why his numbers are so high. Qinfeng looked at his stats and thought that it looked like his battle rating depended on all 4 stats. By increasing the indicator, he will be able to raise his combat rating and increase his chance of survival. Most people currently rated at 1 star, only a few people have reached the 1-star limit. Based on information received from others, the average value of each indicator for an ordinary person is approximately 10 units or less. His strength, agility, and stamina are all under 10, probably because he is so thin, the value is a little lower. The highest energy indicator of the rest is still 13 units, which is less than half of it. He doesn't know what it does, but it certainly doesn't do him any good. The system window reported that they would now awaken their innate talent based on the indicators of the 4 parameters. He wondered, will it awaken his innate talent? The system notification reported that innate talents are distributed into 9 ranks from weak to strong: F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. SS rank and above are classified as unique classes. Messages started pouring in the chat. What kind of awakening of talents is this? Someone wrote that he is always unlucky, he definitely won't be able to get good talent. Someone asked, what does it mean that all talents above SS rank are unique? He doesn't know what rank of talent he will have, but he hopes it will be useful. The only thing they can say about talents of this level is that they can only be awakened by 1 person, meaning there will be no 2 people with the same abilities. The system window asked if he would like to awaken his talent. Qin Feng said that of course he had to agree. After that, he found himself in some kind of space, a ball flew past him and he said that he had moved to another strange place. What are all these balls for? Based on his years of experience reading fantasy novels, these balls and lights have something to do with awakened talents. A strong talent must be in a ball with a special color, he needs to find it. He looked around and saw only blue balls in front of him. Suddenly, from the side, he noticed a bright flash that rushed into his body. The ball hit his stomach and disappeared into his body. He asked, what is it? Suddenly the rest of the balls began to hit his body and the system window congratulated him on awakening his SSS rank talent, Endless Extraction. Qin Feng was surprised and the system window reported that with this talent he can use extraction on any target, receiving a random effect. He thought, this is a unique SSS rank innate talent. Will he get a random effect? This is too unclear an explanation. Apparently, he will have to find an opportunity to experiment to find out the result. The system window reported that the awakening of the talents of this newcomer village was completed. 787 people awakened F-rank talent, 194 people awakened E-rank talent, and another 2 people awakened C-rank talent and above. Someone in the general chat laughed and said that he had awakened an E-rank talent, Strength Enhancement. This talent doubles his strength when activated. Another person wrote that his talent is also quite good. Increased stamina, doubled strength and defense. Someone else wrote that he has a rank D talent, Flame Control. The goddess of fortune has finally shown her favor. Another person wrote that only 17 people out of 1,000 awakened rank D talents. How many people in the entire Blue Star were able to awaken SSS rank talents? Someone replied that he doubted that anyone could awaken such talent. D rank talents are strong and C rank talents are incredible. After reading the general chat, Qin Feng thought that most of the people had rank F and E talents. Less than 2% of the people in this newbie village received a rank D talent. But he has a SSS rank talent, which is extremely rare. Talent from rank and above was awakened by 2 people. Considering it, who is the second then? And what level of talent does he have? Also SSS rank like him. Someone in the chat asked 2 C rank brothers to show themselves. Let them come out and accept their worship. They want to see their face. Liu Xuan wrote that he awakened a talent from rank, Control of Magnetic Fields. Someone wrote that it sounds so cool. He will become like a Magneto. Then someone must have called him boss and asked him to take him in. He will be happy to work for him. Someone called him brother and said that this little sister also wants to go with him. Someone wrote that there are 2 people with talents from rank and above. Who then is the other one? The second brother doesn't necessarily have a C rank, maybe even an S rank. He can't even imagine it. Someone wrote that he states that he will be at the beck and call of these 2 guys. Qin Feng thought that a rank talent was so highly valued. If he reveals this exaggerated SSS rank talent, he is afraid there will come a time when he will not be welcomed with open arms. After all, in this bloody world full of murders, the talent of his rank is his main support and a trump card that he cannot show to anyone. The system reported that from now on they could leave their houses and enter the newcomer's village. In 10 seconds the test will begin, and those who do not meet the requirements will be eliminated. In order to develop, they can hunt all kinds of animals, demons and monsters, taking away the energy necessary for development. Newbie equipment and weapons became available to them. Qin Feng said that this system screen has no physical form, but it can store physical objects. It really is like being in a game. He pulled out a sword from the system window and the system window reported that 2 units were added to his attack power. This is a rusty short sword, a must-have item for a beginner, a 0-level item. Attack power is calculated using the strength indicator. 1 unit of strength increases the attack power by 1. He asked, plus 2 units to the attack power. He will try to swing this sword. He waved his sword several times and said that this was not bad at all. Just by swinging it a couple of times, it seemed to him that he could easily kill a bull with this short sword. Is this just the effect of the extra 2 attack units? If in the future he improves this sword by 30 units, then with it he will become incredibly strong. But how can he do this? Maybe he should test his innate talent with this sword. The system window reported that the innate talent had been activated. A blue aura began to emanate from his sword, and as soon as he swung it, a strong dust rose up. The system window reported that the endless extraction was successful. He removed the rust and sediment from his novice short sword, so it was turned into a refined steel sword. This sword is now level 1 and adds 5 points to its attack power. He looked at the sword and said that it was amazing. Just one use of his talent increased the level of the short sword from 0 to 1 and increased the attack bonus to 5 units. He needs to use it again and see what happens. He used his talent once again, but nothing happened. He looked with disappointment at the system window, which reported that infinite extraction failed, the target quality was too low, or the extraction limit had been reached. Qin Feng looked at the sword with disappointment and said that of course there will be a limit. If he really could constantly improve by endlessly extracting, it would be cheating. He swung his sword sharply, cutting the boards, and said that at least for a beginner, his weapon was much better than everyone else. Suddenly outside he heard the admiring voices of people who said that this place is so big. One of them told the others to look ahead, there is a square. Qin Feng looked at the front door and realized that the others were leaving their houses. He will also come out and look at the world on the other side of the door. He went outside and saw flying monsters in the sky that looked like ancient pteranodons. The system window reported that he was in the village of newcomers number 911. Someone said that if they fail to get the 10th level, they will be exterminated. This world is terrible. Another person said it's the system that makes them go out and kill monsters. The newbie test only lasts 7 days, what should they do? Someone started crying and asked, are they really going to die here? Another person told them to stop whining, how it pisses him off. Will this help them return to the blue star? Some guy said that all this scares him so much. Someone approached the guy and asked what talent he had. He replied that he had awakened an E-rank talent, super hearing. Another guy said that he has F rank, although his talent is increasing speed. Someone else answered him that this is a cool talent. He also has F rank, but it is the ability to enhance his sense of smell, which is not very useful. They approached a huge portal and wondered what was inside. They better not go there one by one to check. They began to examine the portal, and someone asked if anyone had already gone there to explore. Qin Feng looked at the portal and thought that this must be the exit from the newcomer village, beyond which lies a world of murder and bloodshed. Who will be the first to break beyond this light barrier? Suddenly there was a roar behind them and everyone turned around in fear. Qin Feng thought, was it an explosion? Did some kind of animal appear? But at the sight of the crash, they only saw Wang Qing, and Qin Feng thought that it was him, that guy with 1-star combat power, Wang Qing. People said with admiration that he was so cool. He is so strong. Someone came up to him and asked what his talent was. Wang Qing asked in surprise, is his talent. His rank D talent is called Furious Strength. This talent can triple his strength when used. Qin Feng thought that as far as he remembered, he said that he had 18 units of strength. After using his talent, his strength rating should increase to 54. It is not surprising that she was able to break a boulder with one blow. With such attack power, he should definitely be among the top 10 strongest in the entire 911 rookie village. Someone said in surprise that it was no wonder why he was so strong. Someone else asked his friend, he had awakened a similar talent for increasing strength, hadn't he? Can he do the same? He replied that he had awakened a rank E strength enhancement talent. This talent could only double his strength, which was 1 step lower than Wang Qing. Someone asked, is he really the strongest here? One of them called out to Wang Qing and said that his initial combat power had reached the limit of 1 star and he had awakened a D rank talent. He would definitely become stronger and stronger. Wang Qing laughed and agreed. He thought that now all his sweat and hard work in the past had paid off for him. In this deadly world, he will have the best time of his life. Someone said that there is also Liu Xuan. He is their C rank. He wonders how strong he is. He is so jealous of those of you who have awakened C-rank talents. Wang Qing, having heard these words, was dissatisfied and thought, what is so special about talents from the rank? Who has more brute strength is what matters in this world of survival of the fittest. He raised his hand up and told everyone to listen to him. He's about to leave the village to let them see how strong the monsters are outside. People were delighted and said that he was so fearless. He is simply incredible. He passed through the portal and Qin Feng thought that he had only muscles and no brains at all. He should not lead everyone with him at such a time, unless, of course, he has complete confidence that he will survive. Wang Qing found himself on the other side of the portal in a dark forest. He thought, don't they understand that only a strong hand rules this world? When he kills the beast, he will show them who's boss. Suddenly he noticed movement next to him and asked what it was. He looked around and said that someone had definitely passed by. Is this a monster? Suddenly a huge rabbit with glowing red eyes appeared behind him. He felt someone's presence behind him and slowly turned around. At the same moment, the rabbit attacked him and the system window reported that the newcomer Wang Qiang was killed by the first level beast, the bloody rabbit. All the people outside the portal saw this system alert, and the system window reported that the combat rating of the first level beasts is 3 stars, the second level beasts are 4 stars, the third level beasts are 5 stars, and so on. Someone said with horror that he was able to break a boulder with one blow. Even he could not survive there. If they entered there, they would simply go to the slaughter. This world is too dangerous. How can they survive? The system window reported that the rating was calculated only from the main 4 parameters, without taking into account innate talent. The village's protective barriers will keep the beasts out, but they will be able to enter the village when the newcomer's protection period ends. Qin Feng clenched his teeth and thought that Wang Qiang was killed by the weakest level 1 beast in less than 5 minutes after leaving the village. The difficulty of surviving in this world is much higher than he thought. Moreover, in order to prevent people from hiding in the newcomer village, the system also reminded everyone that the protective barrier would fall. If the system is giving them so many hints, then it is unlikely that it has set an impossible task for newbies. There must be more options to pass the tests. If a 3-star beast faces 4 1-star humans, which one will win and which one will lose? Someone raised their hand and said they couldn't just wait here to die. They need to kill monsters and evolve, otherwise they will all definitely die. Some guy said that he didn't want to die, he was still so young. The guy suggested forming groups. They are strong when they work together, so they will have a better chance of surviving. One of the people agreed with him and said that there is strength in unity. Together they can kill these animals. The guy told them to come to him if they want to team up, let them show their characteristics and natural talents so that they can work better together. People began to gather in groups and talk about their talents and ranks. Some guy told his group to prepare their weapons and be on alert. While everyone was gathering in groups, Qin Feng stood aside and watched it all. A guy came up to him and said that he sees that he is all alone. Doesn't he want to unite with them? Qin Feng disagreed and thought that working together was a good idea, but it was not for him. He must hide his innate talent until it becomes strong enough. 15 minutes have already passed since the first group entered. He took a deep breath and entered the portal, thinking that now was the time to raise a few levels. He entered the dark forest and finally learned what the world outside looked like. He looked around and thought that this environment awakened some primitive feelings in him, as if a dinosaur could pounce on him from the bushes at any moment. He sniffed and felt that the place stank disgustingly. He took a few steps through the forest and saw Wang Qiang's body ahead. His body lay motionless in a pool of cold blood. Qin Feng examined him and thought that he was such a fool. He died because of his own recklessness. When he saw his corpse, he suddenly realized that he too could die at any moment in this world. He walked further into the forest and thought that if he wanted to stay alive, he needed to be careful as he continued to increase his strength. Suddenly he stopped abruptly and thought, does he need to build up his strength? He looked at Wang Qiang's body and thought that if he was not mistaken, then he needed to check whether it would actually work. He approached his body and used his innate talent. The system window reported that the infinite extraction was successful. He received the D-rank talent, Furious Strength. Qin Feng was happy and thought it worked. Now he has his talent. He really managed to extract his innate talent. The system window reported that he now has 2 talents. Strength Enhancement Talent, when used, increases his strength 3 times. He looked at poor Wang Qiang's corpse and thought that he originally had 8 strength units, so after using it, it would increase to 24. He can instantly become twice as strong as the average adult. He mentally laughed and thought that now he understood how he needed to use his innate talent of SSS rank. Over time, he will be able to obtain 100, 1,000, even 10,000 innate talents. With all these innate talents, he will reach the pinnacle of human possibility. This feeling of becoming stronger is so exciting to him. He told the dead Wang Qiang that he was very strong, but his speed and defense were poor, and he was also reckless. He did not assess the situation and thoughtlessly went outside to hunt monsters, which is why he died. He raised his sword and said that this is why for most people, cooperation allows them to compensate for everyone's weaknesses and helps them survive in this deadly world. He used infinite retrieval and said it didn't apply to him. The system window reported that the endless extraction was successful. He had extracted the rust and sediment from his novice short sword. His novice short sword had been turned into a refined steel sword. Qin Feng thought that with endless extraction he would get rid of all his weaknesses. Having walked a little further through the forest, he came across a dead rabbit. He said that it was the first level blood rabbit that killed Wang Qiang. Judging by the wounds on the rabbit's body, it could have died from a blow to the back after it was surrounded. He used infinite extraction and gained 2 points of power. Qin Feng thought, can he even increase his stats like that? With these 2 points of strength, his strength stat is now the same as that of a normal adult, and if he uses furious strength, it will increase to 30. If he encounters more similar monsters and gains more strength, then he can quickly surpass Wang's power king. He thought, how many times can he extract the power? He used infinite retrieval on the rabbit again and the system window reported that infinite retrieval failed. For anything below level 20, he can only apply extraction once, he has already reached the limit. Qin Feng said that it is the same as with the beginner's sword. Oh well, as long as he has the ability to search for other corpses, he can use infinite extraction again. That group of people must have killed many fierce beasts along the way. If he just followed them, then perhaps he would find more corpses. He needs to follow a large group, because this way he can find more monsters. He will simply follow the path where there are most tracks. Suddenly, the system window reported that newcomer Lai Yu was killed by a giant rodent of the first level. Qin Feng stopped before entering the field and thought that one person had died, and that person was in the group. When he used the extraction on Wang Kang's corpse, he gained his innate talent, and the blood rabbit gave him 2 points of strength. Humans and beasts are different, but first-level beasts are too weak. They do not have any innate talents, they rely on brute force, so he only managed to obtain a few units of characteristics. He climbed the tree and thought that in this case, he needs to find Lai Yu's corpse. Maybe he will get another innate talent that will be more valuable than characteristics. He looked around the trees all around and thought that he was not entirely sure where exactly the group that Lai Yu was in went. But if he thought logically, accidents usually happen in the direction with fewer people, Lai Yu's group could have gone that way. He will check if he finds anything on this road. The system window reported that newcomer Zhu Cheng was killed by a level 1 vicious beast, a giant rodent. Qin Feng thought, another one died, and the same giant rodent killed him. Then, most likely, they both died in the same place. It seemed like they were in a situation worse than he had imagined. It's something they couldn't deal with that caused 2 people to die in a row. He started to climb down from the tree and his inner voice asked, does he still want to go there? A stream of wind ran through the dark forest and Qin Feng, gritting his teeth, jumped down and thought that in this deadly world, if he is weak and continues to remain so, then he will end up like a fish on a platter that will be eaten. In this world, anyone can die at any time. If he wants to survive, he needs to understand the logic wealth comes from risks and great danger. He headed towards the exit from the forest and found himself in a field. He hid in the grass and thought that this is a dangerous world. If he stumbles once, he will be dead. The place he is going to is incredibly dangerous. He needs to be extremely careful. He smelled blood and thought that the smell was getting stronger. It seemed like it was almost there. He moved the grass aside and saw the corpse of a man. He thought that it was most likely Zhu Cheng who was killed by a giant rodent. Next to him, he saw the corpse of a girl and thought that it must be Lai Yu. Somewhere nearby there may be a first-level ferocious beast with a 3-star combat rating. While it only has 1 star, under normal conditions, it is no match for it. Suddenly he saw something and thought, what the hell? Behind the corpses, he saw a level 1 giant rodent lying on the ground. He examined the rodent carefully and thought that, fortunately, it was seriously injured. Both legs were broken. He began to approach the rodent and thought that it would be much easier for him to kill it. He began to take slow steps and count the distance to the monster, after which he jumped and raised his sword over it, using the talent of frantic strength. But the rodent managed to react and wanted to grab it with its paw, but Qin Feng managed to jump to the side and their eyes crossed. He again raised his sword over the monster and said that the beast always remains a beast, there is a limit to their intelligence. The rodent looked at him and Qin Feng threw the sword at him with all his strength. After that, he jumped on the rodent and thrust the sword into its body harder. The rodent squealed in pain and Qin Feng prepared to punch it. Immediately after that he punched the rodent in the face and dealt with it. He shook off the dust and said that who knew that sneaking up on a seriously injured giant rodent could be so dangerous. He underestimated its attention. Now he will be more careful. Energy began to emanate from the rodent and Qin Feng thought, what is happening? The system window reported that he had successfully killed a level 1 rodent and received 30 units of energy. He looked at his hand, which was enveloped in a blue aura, and asked, is this the power gained after killing a first-level beast? He is so warm, all the fatigue has gone away. Suddenly a system window appeared in front of him and he noticed that after killing the giant rodent, his level status rose from 0 to 30 out of 100. He took out the sword from the rodent's corpse and thought that this was a good start. He looked around and used infinite extraction on the corpse, after which he received 2 units of agility. Qin Feng said that his agility has risen to 11 units. The stat points obtained from the first level wild beasts are too small. He needs to try to find the second level wild beasts. He went to the girl's corpse and said that now he will get what he really came for. He used infinite healing and the system window reported that he had received an F-rank talent, enhanced sense of smell. Qin Feng said that this is a low-level talent, improving one of the 6 senses, enhancing the sense of smell. The system window reported that this talent, increasing his sense of smell tenfold when used. Qin Feng said that this talent could be useful for others, but he doesn't really need it. He took off the apron from the man's body and said that the forest was quite dense. It would be difficult for him to look for corpses, but with this talent he would be able to find them by the stench they emitted. Moreover, with this talent, he can smell wild animals in the distance, which will help him avoid danger in advance. He spread his apron on the ground and said that he was very lucky to have received this talent now. He placed his swords on his apron and said that not even an hour had passed since the test began, and his strength and agility had already reached the standard of an adult. He used infinite draw on the 2 swords and said that considering the other 3 talents he had obtained, the total combat power should already reach 2 stars, it could even be at the peak of 2 stars. However, the system panel's combat strength rating only takes into account the values of 4 characteristics, which is why, at first glance, his combat strength is still at 1 star. The system window reported that the endless extraction was successful. His novice short sword was transformed into a refined steel sword. He said that it seemed like the system's assessment of combat strength could only be used as a reference. He shouldn't count on it too much. He threw his swords on his back and moved on. He used his innate talent of enhancing the sense of smell and closed his eyes to focus on the smells. He felt different smells around him and felt one special one that had gathered around him. He thought that after increasing his sense of smell 10 times, all this stench made him want to puke. He needs to calm down and not worry. He just needs to slowly get used to it and distinguish each smell. He focused again and smelled a light scent. Then he smelled dirt, smelled flowers. He focused even more, felt someone's presence. He realized that someone was nearby. At that time, a guy was running across the field, chased by a rodent. The rodent extended its paw forward and hit the ground, after which the guy fell to the ground and another man from the group said that they need to act now. They rushed to attack the rodent and cut off its paws. The system window reported that they had successfully killed a level 1 rodent and received 30 units of energy. The man said that their group was so unlucky to encounter 2 giant rodents at once that they were taken by surprise. The other guy agreed with him and said that everyone was injured. Unfortunately, 2 members of their group died. If not for the quick thinking of the leader who told them to attack after retreating, luring and surrounding the rodent here, they too would have died. Some guy told them to stop talking and let them go kill the wounded giant rat. They headed towards the other injured rat until someone else found it, Qin Feng, who had been sitting in the thick grass watching them all this time. He thought that the 2 dead they were talking about were most likely the girl in the black top and the fat man he had used the extraction on. Since he had already killed their giant rodent, it would be best for him to quickly get out of here before he got into trouble. He used his speed enhancement talent and prepared to dash. He apologized to them and said that in this world of bloodshed, dignity, such as pity and humanity, could cost them their lives. He rushed forward and said that he needed to do everything to survive. Time has passed. For more than 3 hours, while the others were hard at work killing the beasts, he wandered around to understand the situation in this newcomer plane. There are 5 types of first-level beasts found here: the giant rodent, the bloody rabbit, the gray plain wolf, the rabid boar, and the extremely poisonous 9-ringed snake. He looked at the corpse and said that this was the 4th rabid boar he had used the extraction on. The system window reported that the extraction limit was reached. Extraction failed. Qin Feng exclaimed, "What?" The system window reminded him that after 3 successful extractions of identical first-level beasts, the extraction limit had been reached. Qin Feng said that he used extraction 3 more times on all the beasts except the 9-ringed poisonous snake. Looks like he should now focus on finding it. The system had announced 7 deaths in the last hour, but he had only found this one body. Compared to the stat units obtained from wild beasts, human talents are much more difficult for him to obtain. He used infinite extraction and received an E-rank talent, vision enhancement. He opened his stats window and noticed that his combat power had reached 2 stars. He is absolutely confident that he can kill a level 1 wild beast single-handedly. Suddenly he felt a strange smell and turned around. He realized that it was the smell of a poisonous snake of 9 rings. He rushed towards the smell and smelled someone else's smell. Does it look like flowers or fruit? Ahead he saw a fruit growing on a stone and a snake coiled around the tree. He looked out from behind the shelter and thought, this is it. The same scent he smelled earlier. It looks like the poisonous 9-ringed snake is protecting this fruit. With so much flavor and a fierce beast protecting it, this fruit seems to be here for a reason. This snake is the strongest level 1 beast in the novice plane, providing 40 energy. He pulled out a sword and thought it was such a good catch. Suddenly the snake opened its eyes and looked towards Qin Feng. He realized that he had been discovered and the snake rushed towards him. Qin Feng managed to jump and the snake rushed through the place where he was and broke the tree. Qin Feng thought, what's going on? Why is the snake so slow? Is the snake really so sluggish because it just ate its prey and is now digesting it? He gripped the hilt of the sword tighter and thought that he would quickly kill it. He braced himself for impact and realized he couldn't cut it. The scales are too strong. The snake hit him with its tail and he cursed loudly, falling to the ground. He cleared his throat and the snake attacked him again. He used the talent of violent power and pierced the snake's jaw with his sword, after which the snake raised its head along with Qin Feng and opened its mouth wider. Qin Feng instantly cut the snake's body into several pieces and landed on the ground. He sighed and said that he had 40 units of energy. He only had to kill one more beast of the same level so that he could rise to the second level. If it weren't for this snake's full stomach, he would not have been able to deal with it so easily. He decided to cut open the snake's belly and see what was there. A corpse fell out of the snake's stomach and Qin Feng realized that there had been a person there all this time. In this world of chaos, anyone can die, the only difference is how he dies. A predator feeds on prey, and the fittest survives, that's the law of this world. He touched the corpse and cast infinite extraction. The system window reported that he had once again received an F-rank talent, improved vision. Two identical enhancement type talents are automatically combined. The vision enhancement talent is improved by the E-rank talent. Vision improved 20 times, night vision became available to him. Talent improvement was successful, awakening the talent skill, the Eye of True Vision. True Sight is an active skill that allows him to see the true nature of things. Qin Feng thought, has his talent improved? He thinks when he finds the same talents, there is a certain chance that the extracted talent will increase its rank. In addition, there is a high chance of awakening a talent skill. The Eye of True Sight is his first skill. Using his true vision, he looked at the red snake fruit and the system window reported that it was a level 1 spiritual fruit that increased stamina and poison resistance when used. Qin Feng thought that it instantly showed him the details of this spirit fruit, just like a top-notch science fiction scanning device. With this skill he will get information about all unknown things. In the future this will give him a huge advantage when collecting resources. He picked the fruit and ate it, thinking that he would no longer miss anything useful if he noticed it. When he ate the fruit he felt something and the system window reported that he used the red snake fruit. He gained 8 points of stamina, poison resistance increased by 100%. Qin Feng said that he could get that many units after extracting them from 4 wild beasts. This fruit is a good catch, it's a pity that it's the only one here. He wonders if there are other uses for these spiritual plants. He used his talent again and the system window reported that this is a red snake fruit. Spiritual plants accumulate the essence of heaven and earth. 1 leaf grows in a year, 7 leaves grow in 7 years, the red fruit grows in the next 7 years. After eating red snake fruit, the leaves will automatically wither and become useless in a few days. He reached out his hand to the plant and said that the spiritual plant was growing by absorbing the essence of nature. He couldn't just leave it here, he would try to apply extraction. He used infinite extraction and the system window reported that he had obtained the essence of a spiritual plant. Using it would give him 2 points of stamina. Qin Feng knew that the plant that produced the red snake fruit could not be useless. It gives him as many stat points as animal corpses. After extraction, a pill appeared on his hand, which he immediately ate. The system window congratulated him that his power level had been raised to the 2-star limit. Qin Feng looked at his stats window and said that he did not expect his combat strength to reach the peak of 2 stars so quickly if only the 4 talents obtained after extraction were taken into account. He could even try to fight 3 or 4 level 1 beasts alone. Suddenly he came up with something. He will use extraction on another 9-ring poisonous snake and then leave the newcomer village. He will travel to a larger land to find other wild beasts and increase his power, so he will become the strongest and survive in this world. Suddenly stones rolled towards him behind him. He noticed this and managed to jump away in time. Had someone ambushed him? He jumped onto a tree and looked around and said that it didn't look like that was the case. Ahead he saw a poisonous snake fighting with other people. He said that it was surprising that he did not notice it. The smell of blood from the previous snake mixed with the smell of this one. It appeared just at the moment when he wanted to go look for it. At this time, a group of people were fighting with a snake. The man raised his sword over the snake and told it to try his sword. An archer who stood nearby said that the snake was too fast, it couldn't aim properly. The guy who stuck the sword into the snake's head told them to aim for the vital spots. He told the snake to go to hell, he will avenge his brother Chen Jun. At this time, Qin Feng was watching them from a tree and said that he did not expect to run into him here. He remembered that the guy who stuck the sword into the snake's head was called Lei Yu. Not long before he was gathering a group and said that he had an innate talent of D rank, light control. Those who want to join a group with him should approach him. Watching their battle, Qin Feng thought that there were only 17 D-rank talents awakened in the newcomer village. After Wang Kai's death, Lei Yu became one of the remaining 16. The snake threw off Lei Yu and Qin Feng thought, as far as he remembers, he left Village of Beginners, assembled a group of 8 people. Why are there only 6 of them now? The girl ran up to the leader Lei Yu and asked if he was okay. He told her to worry about him, they need to quickly finish off the snake before it becomes unable to move. The rest of the squad agreed with him and went on the attack. Watching this, Qin Feng thought that he was attacking it head-on. The others were supporting him from different sides. During the battle, the snake would be exhausted, and it was only a matter of time before it would die. He has not yet tried to use the eye of true sight on living wild animals. He will see what kind of information it will give him. He used true vision, and the system window reported that in front of him was a poisonous snake of the 9 rings of the first level. The combat strength was rated 3 stars. It is a fierce, bloodthirsty, and poisonous snake. The chance of catching is 1 in 1,000. Qin Feng noticed the line about the chance of catching and realized what it means. If he kills the snake, then something might fall out. But 1 in 1,000 is a very low chance. Suddenly he noticed a bright flash and wondered what was happening. At this time, a group of people had already dealt with the snake and began to say that they received 5 energy points, while someone received only 3. One of them threw the sword on the ground and said that he was given 1 point. Was his contribution that small? The archer girl named him Xiao Lai and told him to stop complaining. These points are distributed based on their contribution. Everything is definitely fair here. Xiao Lai said, upset that he could only blame himself for being so weak. At this time, Qin Feng jumped from the tree and someone from the group said that this is how the points will be distributed if he creates a group. The system is well thought out since it encourages working together. It's just this snake of 9 rings with 40 points of energy, which is not so much when distributed among 7. Qin Feng landed on the ground and thought, what's going on with this guy? Lei Yu's body lit up and the guy asked the leader what was happening. He replied that it was nothing, he just increased his level. Someone from the group said that it was amazing. The leader had actually reached the 2nd level. Xiao Lai said that he only has 17 units out of 100, he still has a long way to go to reach the 2nd level. The swordswoman told him not to be upset. As long as they work together, they will be able to survive in this cruel world. At this time, Qin Feng was hiding behind a tree and watching them. He thought that this was the first time he had seen a person with a 2nd level. He wondered if it was very different from the 1st level. He needs to test this with his eye of true sight. A system window appeared in front of him, which informed him that standing in front of him was a 2nd level person with strength 20 units, agility 22, endurance 19, and energy 21. His talents and skills are unknown. Combat strength is 2 stars. Qin Feng read all the information and thought that with his characteristics and talent, his overall strength would barely reach 3 stars. If he fought a level 1 wild beast alone, his chance of winning would only be 50%. Even though he has not yet reached the 2nd level, his combat strength is at the peak of 2 stars. Considering all his talents, his total strength should be somewhere around 4 stars. This means he can easily defeat level 2 Lei Yu while still being at level 1. One guy from the group said that their leader has leveled up, so he proposes to avenge their brother Chen Jun. He is still in that snake's stomach. Someone asked what really happened to him. The guy answered, when they were scouting the area together, they met 2 poisonous snakes in the forest. But as soon as they saw them, they immediately turned and ran, but he stumbled, fell, and was swallowed by a snake. Luckily, he awakened the speed enhancement talent, which helped him escape and bring the 2nd snake here. Lei Yu said that they will avenge Chen Jun. Let them all follow him. They need to stay in formation, keep an eye on each other, and warn if they sense danger. Qin Feng followed them and thought that it seems that the person in the snake's belly was their comrade, and now they are looking for the snake that he just killed. Suddenly he stepped on a branch and the archer, who heard this, shot an arrow into the tree, asking who is there. She told him to come out, and Qin Feng thought that this girl most likely had a talent for improving hearing. He came out to them with his hands up and told them not to worry, he was just passing by. The girl said his name in surprise and he asked if they knew each other. He doesn't remember her. Lei Yu called her Liu Yan and asked if she knew him. She started waving her hands and said that she didn't know him, she just saw him in the chat. Qin Feng thought that there were more than 1,000 people chatting. What a good memory she has, but it seems strange to him. Qin Feng didn't find anything to answer and thought, why don't they leave? Once they leave here, he will use extraction on the snake's corpse. There was a silent pause between them and Liu Yan asked the leader if Qin Feng could join them. In this place they can only survive together. They lost Chen Jun, and if Qin Feng is with them, their chances of survival will increase. Lei Yu looked at Qin Feng and thought that the difference in the fighting strength of humans and wild beasts is too great. Being at the 1st level, humans are no match for the beasts. So they need to work together. In the future, various groups will definitely be created on this earth, and in order to occupy a stable position, he needs more people to join him that he can rely on. He agreed and asked Qin Feng to show him his characteristics and talent. If it is not bad, he will accept it. Lei Yu thought that although he wanted to quickly create his own group, he could not force others to join. He needed to maintain a strong image. Liu Yan asked Qin Feng to quickly show his information and let the leader look at it. He has a D rank and level 2 talent, so he's lucky. The guy agreed with her and told him to follow the boss. He will have a good life. Qin Feng replied that he did not need it. He liked being alone. He started to leave and Liu Yan was surprised, and then she asked him to wait, but Lei Yu stopped her with his hand and said that they do not force others to join, let him leave. Liu Yan looked after him and thought, she knows that he doesn't remember her, but may he survive. They walked further and someone said that this Qin Feng is so strange. Someone from the group told him to forget about him, he would regret it. They came across the corpse of a snake and were very surprised. Someone had chopped the snake into pieces. They got closer and someone asked, who from the rookie village is so strong? They saw the body of their friend and began to mourn. Someone asked, maybe Liu Xuan killed the snake. He has the highest rank talent in the rookie village, he is the strongest here. Someone else asked, but didn't his group go in the opposite direction? Someone else said that he was so scared, the one who killed this snake should also have a second level. Xiao Lai touched the snake's blood and said that from the dryness of the spots, he could tell that the snake was killed 15 minutes ago. Moreover, they killed with one blow, there are traces of only one person. Someone asked in surprise, was the snake killed with one blow? It has such hard scales that even his sword cannot cut through it. Lei Yu said, which means this person must be a professional and most likely a loner. Liu Yan asked, is he single? Could this be Qin Feng? There was only him nearby, he also refused to join them. Suddenly a system announcement appeared in front of them, which announced that in the village of beginners someone had reached the 3rd level, the top 100 rating by level was available to them. Only the level rating of the current village is shown. They opened the ranking and saw that Qin Feng was in 47th place and had level 1. After that, Lei Yu thought that Qin Feng was not at the same level as they thought. It turns out they were mistaken. In 1st place was Liu Xuan of level 3, in 2nd place was Long Shan of level 2, and in 3rd place was Wu Yan of level 2. At this time, Qin Feng also looked at the ranking and said that he was only in 47th place. He warmed up and said that 4 hours had passed, 8 people had already reached the 2nd level, Liu Xuan reached the 3rd level the fastest, he believes he also needs to speed up. The extraction of 1st level wild beasts in this beginner's meadow has already reached the limit, it is time to go hunting. The system showed off newbie rewards for leveling up and announced that the first one to reach level 10 would receive a golden chest. The second one who reaches level 10 will receive a silver chest, and the third one who reaches level 10 will receive a bronze chest. Qin Feng thought, is this a reward system? The first 3 people to reach level 10 will receive a chest as a reward. They don't have to wait until the end of the challenge to unlock this, which is very convenient. The system reported the ranks of chests from the lowest, dark steel rank, bronze, silver, gold, dark gold, purple diamond, historical, mythical. Qin Feng realized that it seemed that the higher the rank of the chest, the better the contents. The competition to gain a level begins. He got ready for the dash and said he would get 1st place. After a while, he began to kill monsters and his rival was a 1st level silver wolf with a 4-star combat rating. This wolf is cruel, bloodthirsty and cunning, there are no skills, and the danger is 1%. Qin Feng used the talent of increasing speed and frantic strength and struck the wolf. After that, he pulled back and said that this wolf's body is too strong. It's like cutting iron. Even after using talents, he couldn't hurt it, so how could he kill it? The wolf began to circle around Qin Feng and thought, how can such a pathetic 1st level human dare to invade his territory? It will tear him to pieces. But this 1st level person is much stronger than most 3rd level people. After that, the wolf decided to attack and Qin Feng thought that they say that wolves have a strong head and back, so it is, but its weak point should be the belly. He said it was a great opportunity. He struck the wolf and pierced its belly, after which it fell to the ground and Qin Feng said that it was stronger than the beasts he had encountered so far. What a pity that he is stronger than it. He raised his sword to deal the final blow to the wolf. After that, the system window reported that he had killed a mutated silver wolf and received 100 experience. He received the 2nd level, his strength, agility, endurance and intelligence increased by 10. He received 5 stat points. Light began to emanate from his body and he looked around himself. Now he understood how an increase in level felt, like a surge of strength throughout the body. His wounds healed, his state of mind was restored, it's just a fairy tale. The system window reported that for killing the silver wolf he received a chest of dark steel. Qin Feng said that he was so lucky he even got the chest. He began to hope for weapons or equipment of the 2nd rank. After that, he opened the chest and a bright light illuminated it. A weapon appeared in front of him and the system reported that he had received a weapon of the 2nd rank, a blood wolf battle sword. This is a sharp sword made from titanium alloy, fused with the essence of wolf blood, which gives a bonus to attack power and a 100% chance of wounding. Qin Feng waved his sword and said that this is an excellent sword. Now he cannot be afraid of meeting other unique wild animals. Suddenly he was surrounded by wolves from all sides and Qin Feng said that these were the comrades of that silver wolf whom he called before his death. Very lucky, it's time to try out his new blood wolf battle sword. Qin Feng injured one wolf, but one of them attacked him from behind and Qin Feng noticed this sudden attack. He quickly moved and dodged the attack, after which he plunged his sword into the belly of the wolf and told these dogs that they were no match for him. He swung his sword several times and killed the wolves. He thought that after leveling up, his speed, strength, and endurance had increased significantly. This time it took him less than a minute to kill 5 silver wolves. In the first level he was not able to do this at all. He said that he still has not had the opportunity to learn the secrets of this place, but time after time the cruel reality of this world shows him that this is not a dream at all, but the real world. He will continue to gain strength and eventually become invincible. He will definitely find a way out of this nightmare. The system window showed that his level had almost reached 3. His strength increased to 30, agility 34, endurance 38, and energy 44. At this time, Lei Yu dealt the final blow to the huge rabbit, and Xiao Lai said that the strength of the one who reached the second level is huge as expected of their leaders. The other guy clapped his hands and agreed with him. Only thanks to him they were not injured and did not die from the clutches of the bloody rabbit. Teamwork is something. Suddenly, the system window reported that the newcomer Qin Feng was the first to kill a mutated wild beast and received 1 prestige point. Prestige is of great value. Upon reaching a certain level, they can receive a special reward. Only those who were the first to kill a mutated wild beast of the first level receive prestige points. The man asked if they had recently encountered him. Was he able to kill the mutated wild beast himself? Xiao Lai said that he was only ranked 47th. How could he do this? Most likely, he simply finished off someone else's beast. Liu Yan thought it was very dangerous to do it alone. She hoped he would be okay. Lei Yu said that perhaps the first level mutated beast was not that strong at all, maybe he was just lucky to kill it. The guy agreed with him and said that he would bet that if their leader met a unique level 1 wild beast, he too could easily deal with it. Qin Feng was just lucky. Suddenly, 4 system notifications appeared in front of them at once, which informed them that the first level newcomers, Chenling, Wai Bobo, Wang Xiao, and the second level newcomer, Lai Yunchan, were killed by the mutated first level wild beast, the Fang Boar. The man from the Lei Yu group said that the level 1 mutated wild beast killed 4 people at once. One of them is level 2. The mutated wild beasts are monstrously strong. It was Lai Yunchan of the second level who could not do anything against them. Lei Yu thought that he was so proud that he was able to kill a level 1 wild beast single-handedly. Who knew that someone could defeat a mutated beast alone? He was too arrogant. Someone said that Qin Feng's ranking has changed. Now he is in 11th place. No, already in 5th. Someone asked, did he get up so quickly? Or maybe he took enhancement pills. The rate of its growth is simply absurd. Lei Yu suggested that they go further. They will continue hunting wild animals because they should not lag behind too much. They agreed with the leader and said they would do it. At this time, Qin Feng was sitting on a mountain of wolf corpses and sighing heavily. He said that he killed so many of them at once. Suddenly a message for help appeared in front of him, in which the guy said that their group leader had died, like all the other members, only he managed to escape. Qin Feng thought, is this a survivor? The guy wrote that their group was completely destroyed. If not for his speed skill, he would have died too. Monsters killed a second level person and 4 first level ones. The strength of this beast is simply terrifying. It is much more dangerous than the second level wild beasts. He is now alone about 50 kilometers south of the newcomer village, and this monster is still nearby, so he asked someone to save him. Qin Feng imagined where he was now and thought that he was now in the southeast of the newcomer village. If he hurried there, he would reach it in about 5 minutes. The Fang Boar is a mutated wild beast of the first level. Killing it will give him 2 or 3 times more experience than killing ordinary wild beasts, and it can also drop a chest that may contain equipment. This is his chance. He reached his destination and noticed the bodies of people. He realized that the fanged wind was also nearby. But besides the smell of bodies and fanged eyelids, there seems to be some other smell here. Is it really a bloody rabbit? He looked around and thought that different types of wild animals usually do not appear together. Was he really mistaken? He's using extraction now and will look around a little later. The system window reported that he had gained 2 units of agility. Qin Feng thought, why is there no innate talent? He decided to try again and the system reported that the extraction failed. Qin Feng thought that the last time this happened was because he had reached the limit of level 1 wild beast extraction. What's the matter now? He tried the extraction on other bodies and the system reported that he had received an F-rank talent, enhanced sense of smell. He received the E-rank talent, increased stamina, twice. Evolution failed, enhanced sense of smell remained at F-rank. Qin Feng thought, why isn't his talent working as it should? And the system does not give him any hints. Is it because he already has such innate talent and the corpse is of a lower rank? He picked up the sword and thought it didn't matter, he'd just take whatever he could get. This time he gained the talent of increasing stamina. He has an innate talent related to strength, D-rank frantic strength, and agility related innate talent E-rank, increased speed. Energy is associated with improved vision of E rank and increased sense of smell, and now there is also an innate talent of E rank, increased endurance. Now he has natural talents for all 4 characteristics, now he does not lack any of them. Suddenly he noticed drag marks on the ground and thought, was someone being dragged here? This is strange, why did the fanged boar need to drag Li Yunchan's body? Unless it's going to eat him. Li Yunchan has awakened a D rank talent. If he finds his body, he can obtain his innate talent. He needs to do this before the tufted boar eats the body. He reached the cave and thought that it looked like the lair of a fanged boar. There is a sense of danger coming from this cave. Is he thinking too much about it? The fanged boar is just a unique beast of the first level. With its current strength it can easily deal with it. A poisonous snake appeared in the cave and Qin Feng recognized the smell. The system window reported that in front of him was a mutated poisonous snake of 10 rings, level 1, whose combat strength was 5 stars. The peculiarity of this snake is that it is cruel, bloodthirsty and poisonous. Has the poison cloud skill, critical strike chance 1%. At the moment the snake is under control. With this status the combat power of it can be enhanced. Qin Feng thought, 9 rings poisonous snake. No, is it 10 rings? He dodged the blow and said that it was a mutated wild beast with a 5-star combat power. The mutated beast of the same level, the silver wolf, had a combat strength at the peak of 4 stars. Why then did the 10-ring snake have a combat strength of 5 stars? It's on a completely different level. It can also release poison. He has never been in a situation like this before. The snake sent poisonous gas at him and his eyes began to burn. From the sharp pain he began to rub his eyes and screamed in pain. He let go of his sword and the monsters all attacked him at once. He tried to open his eyes, but his vision became blurred. This poisonous gas affected his vision. A roar was heard from the cave and Qin Feng forcefully opened his eyes, after which he repelled the monster's blow and said that even though he couldn't see anything now, he would never die here. After that, a monster attacked him and he again repelled the blow. One rat decided to run away and Qin Feng thought that there was one more left. Where is it? Suddenly he felt a presence and jumped up. He thought that a poisonous snake would attack him from behind. Even though he can't see anything, he still has his talents of smell and hearing, so don't underestimate him. He rushed to attack and said that he would not die here just like that. He thrust the sword into the snake's head with great force and blood flowed. The system window reported that he had killed a mutated poisonous snake of 10 rings of the first level, for which he received 110 experience and a chest of dark steel. Qin Feng sat down on the ground and leaned his back on the snake's body. After that he thought that this time it was close. If not for his stamina enhancement talent, he might have died. The system window congratulated him on receiving the 3rd level. His strength, agility, endurance, and intelligence increased by 10 units. He received 5 stat points. His vision was restored and he looked around his body in surprise. After that, he laughed and said that how could he forget that when the level increases, his entire body returns to its best state. If he loses an arm or a leg, even if he goes blind, it will all be cured. This level up comes at just the right time. But he did not immediately notice that the chest fell to him after killing the poisonous snake. He opened the chest and said that he would never have thought that this time he would get such a useful thing from the chest. He laughed and said it was worth it. In front of him, he saw a spatial gate and said that all 3 wild beasts that suddenly attacked him disappeared into this gate. With his current strength, he no longer needs to fear the sudden attacks of these 3 wild beasts. But he feels that there is something more frightening behind this. He passed through the gate and found himself in a cave in which various herbs grew. On the walls of the cave, he saw bone tree grass, heart grass, Aleurotopterus argentea, cotton flower tuber, blood frost grass. These are all 1st level spiritual plants. Suddenly, in the depths of the cave, he saw something that shocked him. In the center of the cave a dead man was sitting on turtles, and animals stood around him. The system reported that he went to the space of another world. The rating table is not available, but he can continue to use personal information in the chat channel. He used the Eye of True Sight and saw that sitting on the Mountain of Skulls was a dead level 4 man with a combat strength of 6 stars. Feature, he has hidden dark energy. He is waiting for flesh to be reborn. His skills and talents are unknown. He is extremely evil. Qin Feng thought, the combat strength is 6 stars. If the skills and talents are unknown, then wouldn't his combat strength be equal to 7 stars or more? Moreover, with 3 more wild beasts on his side, if a battle breaks out, he will be at a great disadvantage. His scythe, which he holds in his hands, makes him feel uneasy. It is very ominous. Now it's better for him to leave here, and then, when he becomes stronger, he will return and deal with him. But the dead man noticed him and said that he was a 3rd level insect from the small world. Since he has come, then let him stay. He uses his flesh for rebirth. Immediately after these words, the beasts attacked Qin Feng and he mentally cursed. He jumped to the side and dodged the blow, after which the chains hit the place where he was in. He thought, these 2 chains are the skill of this dead man. He jumped away from the blow of a huge rabbit and said that this was bad. He needed to be wary not only of chains, but also of attacks from wild animals. Suddenly the chains bound him and he realized that he could no longer move. The dead man smiled and said that these stupid wild animals could only drag in a couple of corpses, but not a living person. All this long time, he could only rely on the blood of corpses to barely support his body. Now, a living body has broken into his territory. It's like God's blessing. He uses his body to be reborn. Qin Feng noticed the beasts rushing towards him and thought that if he did not break free from its control, he would definitely die here. He broke the shackles and began to quickly attack the animals. As Qin Feng advanced towards the dead man, he thought that this couldn't be happening. The mind of third-level people from the small world should be around 30. How can he resist and break out of his mind control? Qin Feng jumped and raised his sword over the dead man, but at the same moment a sharp pain pierced his body and he fell to the ground. The dead man told him that it seemed like he was underestimating him. No man is able to resist its penetration into the mind. He likes his body, he should be honored to give his body to him. Qin Feng smirked, and after that, he told him to shut up and added all the stat points to his mind. The dead man said that he felt his resistance and struggle. He did not like him. He would tear his soul into pieces, throw it into the flames of hell and turn it into ashes. After these words, he ordered the fanged boar to kill him. The system window reported that the characteristic points were distributed. His intelligence was increased by 10 units. The boar pushed Qin Feng into the wall and dust rose. The dead man noticed that the man's mind had become stronger. Qin Feng blocked the beast's attacks and thought that he was lucky that after killing the poisonous snake 10 rings, he got a first-rank item, a low-grade storage ring. Even if he dropped the Blood Wolf battle sword, he would be able to take out another weapon at any time. First, he will kill these 2 mutated wild beasts, and then he will deal with the dead man. The dead man told him that even if he was able to escape from his mind control, he was still no match for him. The beasts pounced on him and Qin Feng thought that he needed at least 2 seconds to escape from the mind control of this dead man. The dead man grinned and said that it had finally happened. But suddenly, all the animals fell to the floor and he was surprised. Qin Feng thought that there was finally some effect. After killing a poisonous snake, he picked up the poison glanded. Before entering this cave, he applied poison to his sword with the thought that the poisonous liquid from the glands of the 10-ring snake could be useful to him in future battles. He said that he had already found out that he could not move. Now that all 3 wild mutated beasts were dead, he would see how he could protect himself. The dead man said it couldn't be. He definitely used some dirty methods, like all despicable people. He swung his scythe with a scream, but Qin Feng quickly cut his body into pieces and the system window reported that he had killed the dead man and received 210 experience and 10 points of justice. The system congratulated him for completing the system's hidden exam and becoming a first-level judge. A judge can kill evil beings and those who have broken the rules of the gods, a calling available to 1 in a billion. He has successfully become a first-level judge, for which he receives plus 20 units to strength, agility, endurance, and intelligence. Qin Feng asked in surprise, is he now a judge? A being of evil? Is this talking about the dead man he killed? That is why the Eye of True Sight showed him to be extremely evil. He needs to keep killing evil creatures to gain justice points. But they never explained to him how he could use these points. However, it would definitely be something useful. He almost died, but the reward was worth it. It was not for nothing that God said that this world is full of both dangers and opportunities. The system window reported that he had received the Divine Seal skill. Obtaining the same talents could give him a Divine Seal, and he had acquired the 3rd rank skill, Taming the Beast. Qin Feng turned around and saw a green crystal floating above the dead man's body. Once he learns this skill, he will be able to command a group of wild beasts to hunt, which will be a very easy way to gain experience. The system window reported that the activation conditions were not met. D-rank innate talent, mind enhancement, combined with the beast taming pill can activate the beast taming skill. C-rank innate talent, linked 6 senses, can activate the beast taming skill. Qin Feng thought that the conditions for learning this skill were too difficult to fulfill. Even for the lowest level, he would need a D-rank talent, mind enhancement. He wonders if the dead man has such a pill or a recipe for it. He began to search the dead man's body and found dirty socks that had not been washed for 200 years, a gold necklace obtained by deceiving a demon's concubine, a secretly hidden pink apron of the Skeleton King, an eye that fell out after being hit by a snake girl, a love bone sent by his soulmate. Qin Feng started kicking the dead man's things and said that he had all sorts of rubbish, but not what he needed. He sighed and decided to start the extraction. He ruined the infinite extraction and the system reported that he received a rank D talent, strengthening the mind, 3 units of strength and dexterity. As Qin Feng expected, the corpse's talent was related to the mind. Next time he would need to beware of such attacks on the mind. It would be much more difficult for him to deal with than the mindless wild beasts. He used the mind enhancement talent and the system reported the creation of the Divine Seal skill. The system window reported that the creation of the Divine Seal skill was successful. He received the 3rd rank skill, Taming the Beast. The creation was successful, but Qin Feng still needs to obtain the talent associated with the 6 senses, or find a way to create a beast-taming pill to activate it. Both are difficult for him to achieve. He hit the ground with his palm and got the plants that were growing in the cave. He said that the experiment was a success. With mind enhancement, he can directly control the storage ring to collect everything into it at once. It is much more convenient. Perhaps in a future battle, he will be able to summon the sword and win with a surprise attack. What a pity. If he had obtained the pill and tamed the beast, he would have been able to directly control wild beasts rather than items like spiritual grass and fruits. He came across a corpse and said that it must be Li Yunchan, killed by a mutated fanged boar. As the system showed, as far as he remembers, his talent is associated with fire. Now he will try to extract his talent. The system window reported that he had received D-rank talents, fire control, increased speed. Qin Feng said that the second guy's talent is also not bad. Increasing the speed can speed it up twice. A flame appeared around his finger and he said that he had finally received such a talent. When he gets stronger, he may not even have to engage in close combat. He will be able to control fire and attack from afar. He overdid it with his fire talent and everything around him caught fire. After that, he began to fry his food over the fire and said that the chat channel had become so lively, everyone was discussing leveling up. It seems that under pressure from the system, a leveling competition has begun in the 911 Rookie Village. The guy wrote that now he will tell them all the good news. Lao Zisheng reached the 3rd level and returned to 9th place. Someone in the chat wrote that he is worthy of admiration. Another guy wrote that Liu Yuan also reached the 3rd level and was able to overtake Mr. Qin Feng. Now there were 10 3rd level people in their beginner village. Someone in the chat asked, didn't they see that after Qin Feng reached the 3rd level, after a while, his name became gray, after which his ranking position began to fall. Another person agreed with him and asked if something had happened to Qin Feng. Another guy asked why. If Qin Feng died, his name would disappear. While Qin Feng was frying his meat, he read the chat and thought that he had not died, he was just in the space of another world. Today, he has overcome many obstacles. First, he will regain some strength in this safe place, and then continue the hunt. He cut the meat and said it smelled so good. It is fatty and juicy meat, it is difficult for him to chew it. The system window reported that for successfully cooking meat he receives 3 units of stamina. Qin Feng felt that his strength was restored so quickly. The system notified that Qin Feng from the beginner village found a little trick. Eating cooked meat restores strength. Due to the first discovery, Qin Feng was awarded 1 reputation point. At this time, the rest of the people received this notification and realized that the cooked meat would help them regain their strength. The guy told his friend that he was wondering why Qin Feng's name had become gray. His ranking position continued to fall and he was just enjoying life. How they envy him. His friend suggested that he move on and said that he wanted to find food and regain his strength. The system reported that they can only restore strength by eating cooked food and warm water. Cold food and water will have no effect. Trading channel activated. People saw this system notification and started asking if they don't have a fire, how can they eat cooked food? Someone in the chat was asking if someone could control fire and asked this person to give him some fire. Another girl wrote that trading looks interesting. Qin Feng clicked on the trade tab and wondered if he could sell the cooked meat. The system reported that newcomer Qin Feng had introduced a new product to the trading channel. For every 3 kilograms of cooked meat, he exchanges 1 wild animal for the corpse. Newcomer Qin Feng became the first to use the trade channel. He received 1 prestige point. At this time, the guy stood in front of the corpse and read this notice. He is lucky that he has the corpse of a wild beast. He will try to exchange with this Qin Feng. The system reported that newcomer Liu Xuan used the corpse of a 2nd level wild beast, saber-toothed mountain tiger, to exchange 3 kilograms of cooked meat with Qin Feng. As a result of the first transaction in this area, Liu Xuan and Qin Feng received 1 prestige point each. There will be no further notice. The saber-toothed tiger's corpse began to disappear, and he said that they had really changed. At this time, Lei Yu's group also read the system notifications and Xiao Lai told the leader that Qin Feng was selling cooked wild animal meat through the system. It could restore their strength. Lei Yu asked, is this true? They have just killed a wild animal. They need to exchange it for cooked meat. At this time, Qin Feng received the corpses of beasts and used endless extraction, for which he received 2 units of stamina and intelligence. He laughed and said it was great. This way he won't even need to look for wild animals. Everyone will work for him. The guy wrote to Qin Feng in the chat and said that his name is Liu Yuan. They are both 3rd level, but in the ranking he is 1 position higher than him. Will they send him 6 kilograms of cooked meat? He will owe him. Someone told him not to be so arrogant. He thinks Qin Feng might need something from him. Another person in the chat wrote that this is so shameless. He just wants free cooked meat. Qin Feng thought, who does he think he is? He wrote that the amount of meat is limited, whoever had time to eat it. Someone in the chat asked, does he really see this? Qin Feng finally wrote something. This is his first message today. He is very humble. Someone else wrote that not a word more. He will find the corpse of a level 2 wild beast and exchange it for Qin Feng's cooked meat. Qin Feng read the messages and thought that he was now more like a black-hearted merchant. At this time, a man was sitting in a cave and roasting a huge pig. He wrote in the chat that he was selling the cooked meat. He will exchange 50 kilograms of meat for first-rank equipment. Qin Feng read this advertisement and thought that although he said that he was a merchant with a black heart, he did not think that there would be anyone more greedy than him. Some guy in the chat asked, he wants to exchange 50 kilograms of meat for first-rank equipment. Has he not woken up yet? The other guy agreed with him and said that even if he had it, he would use it himself rather than bargain with him. When he wants to buy cooked meat, he will turn to Qin Feng. Qin Feng thought that he should try to sell other things. He wrote in the chat that he was selling a rank 1 beginner's weapon. He exchanged it for 3 spiritual plants, 1 spiritual fruit or other rank 1 equipment. The guy in the chat wrote that this is a big sale. Where did he find all this? Where did he get so many first-rank weapons? Some girl wrote that she suspects that Qin Feng has a craft skill, and all these first-rank weapons are created by him. Someone asked, is this like in games? Sounds useful. Another guy wrote to them not to underestimate Qin Feng. Perhaps he has awakened with crafting talent. The girl wrote that she wants a first-rank weapon. She has a spiritual fruit she can exchange with him. Another guy wrote that he has 1 piece of equipment. The system reported that the first-rank equipment, a bracelet of strength, was exchanged for a refined first-rank steel sword. Qin Feng thought, people are so quick to change to his first-rank weapons. He put the bracelet on his hand and 7 units were added to his strength. Among the 4 characteristics, his strength is the lowest. This bracelet will make up for this deficiency. Now that he already has a rank 1 strength bracelet, a rank 1 storage ring, and also a rank 2 blood wolf battle sword, in the entire rookie village, no one can compare with him. Suddenly there was a strong explosion and the system reported that newcomer village number 137 had made a bid aimed at newcomer village number 911. The bid for resources was activated. This means that the resources of the losing side will be reduced by half, everyone will lose 20 stat points, and the winning side will double their resources, everyone will receive 20 stat points. The village in which the first person to reach level 5 will win. The first one to reach level 5 will win the bet and additionally receive 50 attribute points and 1 silver chest. The chat channel of the 2 newcomer villages will now connect. During the betting period, the ratings of both villages will be temporarily hidden.